The story of Loch Ness begins long ago. It starts not with a photograph, but with a holy man. The year was 565 AD. A man named Columba traveled through the Scottish Highlands. He was an Irish monk, later known as Saint Columba. He came to the river Ness, which flows from the deep, dark loch. There, he saw a group of local people. They were burying a man. They were filled with great sorrow and fear. They told Columba a great water beast had attacked the man while he was swimming. The creature had dragged him under and killed him. Saint Columba listened. He was a man of faith and action. He decided to confront the creature. He asked a follower to swim across the river. As the man entered the water, the beast appeared. The world changed, and so did the story of the loch. For centuries, the highlands were remote and difficult to reach. Early 20th century development began to change that. In 1933, a new road was built along the northern shore of Loch Ness. For the first time, people could drive right along the water's edge. Travelers now had an unprecedented clear view of the loch's surface. Suddenly, the quiet, mysterious loch was on full display. That road would turn a local legend into a global sensation. On a spring day in 1933, Aldi and John Mackay were driving that new road. Mrs. Mackay looked out across the water and saw something astonishing. In the calm surface, a huge creature was rolling and churning. They stopped their car and watched the commotion. The Inverness Courier reported the story. The editor used the word monster in the article. That single article lit a fuse. Curiosity spread fast beyond the Highlands. London papers picked it up. Then the world. Modern media had arrived. Loch Ness had a global star. This became the Nessie surge. Sightings poured in. In the midst of the growing frenzy, one piece of evidence emerged that would define the legend for decades. In April of 1934, a London-based surgeon named Robert Kenneth Wilson claimed to have taken a photograph of the monster. The image was grainy and black and white. It showed what appeared to be a long, serpentine neck, a small head rising from the rippling water of the loch. The picture was published in the Daily Mail and immediately became a sensation. The image was dubbed the surgeon's photograph and became the most famous picture of Nessie. For 60 years, it was the icon of the phenomenon. Doubts lingered. The story of how it was taken had inconsistencies. Colonel Wilson was reluctant to talk, which some found suspicious. The mystery deepened. Until 1994, Christian Sperling, on his deathbed, confessed. He revealed the monster was actually a model, a toy submarine fitted with a sculpted head and a neck made from wood putty. The plot was masterminded by his stepfather, Marmaduke Wetherill, a big game hunter, hired in 1933 to find the monster. He'd been humiliated when footprints he found were exposed as fakes, made with a dried hippo's foot. The confession shattered the legend's most powerful evidence. The most famous image of Nessie was nothing more than a toy. With the rise of modern technology, the search for Nessie moved from the shoreline to the depths. People were no longer content with just watching the surface. They wanted to know what was hiding in the dark, peaty water below. In the 1960s, several university teams organized expeditions. They brought a new tool to the hunt: sonar. Sonar sends out sound pulses and listens for echoes that bounce back. It can image the water even when visibility is near zero. Early expeditions produced tantalizing but inconclusive results. They detected large moving objects they could not identify. In the 1970s, Dr. Robert Rines used sonar and underwater photography, capturing the controversial flipper photograph. In 1987, Operation Deep Scan lined 20 boats across the loch, sweeping with a sonar curtain. Operators registered several strong, unexplained contacts. One near Urquhart Castle. An object larger than a shark, but smaller than a whale, was tracked for over 2 minutes and lost in deeper water. No submarine has bumped a giant creature. No camera has captured a clear, undeniable unknown. Skeptics cite thermal layers and currents moving logs or debris, creating ghost images on sonar. Despite mapping the depths and chasing blips, the creature itself remains as elusive as ever. In the 21st century, the search for Nessie took a new, microscopic turn. Instead of relying on cameras or sonar, scientists turned to the field of genetics. In 2018, Professor Neil Gemmell led an environmental DNA, eDNA, study of the loch. Every living thing sheds DNA into its environment. By taking water samples from all over Loch Ness, scientists could analyze the DNA and list its species. Hundreds of samples were sequenced. The results were fascinating. They found DNA from humans, dogs, sheep, birds, And in the water, salmon, trout, sticklebacks. But there was no DNA matching a large reptile like a plesiosaur, no sharks, sturgeons, or catfish. However, the team found a huge amount of eel DNA across the loch, from shallows to depths. Gemmell suggested some sightings might be explained by giant eels, thick bodies forming humps or long snake-like forms, a plausible biological theory, more scientific than a surviving dinosaur, yet not satisfying to everyone. Beyond the science and the hoaxes, the heart of the Loch Ness legend beats in the stories of ordinary people. For nearly a century, thousands have claimed to see something they cannot explain. Accounts vary: a V-shaped wake, one or more dark humps, or the classic long neck with a small, horse-like head. Witnesses include locals, tourists, fishermen, even police officers. In 1933, the Spicers reported a huge creature crossing the road and sliding into the loch, a rare land sighting suggesting something amphibious. Drum na Drochit has become the epicenter of Nessie tourism, with visitor centers and museums. Souvenirs abound, and the legend brings millions into the highland economy. For many, the monster is a beloved part of identity. Skeptics point to waves, logs, and visiting seals or otters, and to the power of suggestion when hopeful eyes scan the water. After nearly 1,500 years of stories, from a saint's blessing to a scientist's DNA sample, the mystery of Loch Ness remains unsolved. We have moved from ancient legend to modern investigation, famous photographs celebrated and exposed as frauds, submarines, and sonar, probing the depths. Even the loch's water analyzed for genetic clues. Each step deepened the story, yet the central question remains open. The Highlands are a character here. Immense scale, impenetrable depth, and dark, peat-stained water. A perfect home for mystery. Mists play tricks. Silence stirs imagination. Nessie is woven into the place itself. So, what swims in the deep? A prehistoric relic? A known animal? A giant eel? Or nothing more than waves, logs, and the power of human imagination? Perhaps the mystery itself is the treasure. It fuels wonder, people will keep watching, cameras ready, and the loch will keep its secrets, asking every visitor the same silent, captivating question: